Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official Nothing But Games podcast. As always, I'm your host, Matt. Today I am joined by Mike and Marcus.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
And today we have some pretty interesting topics to talk about. So just to recap, the week of the 8th, May 8th, we got 2017
AD.
Sure. We got a few games coming out within next week, actually within the next couple weeks. Yep. Nothing too major coming out, realistically, just a few things.
Early in the year, so you're not going to expect a lot of big games, but there are some coming up.
Yeah, exactly. We're still waiting for that.
Quiet before the E3 storm.
Exactly.
So on May 16th, we have both the Injustice 2 fighting game coming out. Don't know why I said it that way. I actually do know why, but regardless.
You said it like you were a 45-year-old.
Literally. I was going to actually start off with the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies map pack that everybody's
so excited for that.
Everybody's super excited about.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, yeah, they're releasing all the maps that ever came out for Zombies on May 16th, as well as Injustice 2. The couple days after that, Fire Emblem Echoes,
yes.
Which Mike's excited about. I don't know if Marcus is excited about.
No, I don't.
He doesn't play Fire Emblem.
No. And then,
dumb boy.
And then for the Nintendo Switch, because the game, or the system has a plethora of games already. Ultra Street Fighter 2 as well, coming to the Switch on May 26th.
My favorite Super Nintendo game.
Exactly.
Only 20 years later, it's fine.
Nah, it's fine.
Injustice 2. Nah, Injustice 2 seems cool. I probably won't buy it right away because the Mortal Kombat. It's based off. It's NetherRealm who developed it, who make Mortal Kombat.
It is.
I'm not a big fan of Mortal Kombat in comparison to like Street Fighter, so I'm much more excited for like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because I never thought we were going to get another Marvel vs. Capcom, and especially since I like the Street Fighter style more and Marvel more than DC. That's like a match made in heaven. But Injustice 2 seems cool. I want to play it. I'll probably try it out, see if any of my friends get it, but yeah.
I'm in your boat. I probably will not get it day one. Will probably be something that I'll get a little later on, considering I have other things to play. And
Lots of other things to play.
Yeah.
What's cool though is that they're getting involved in like the CW shows and even the movies that are coming out. Like Matt, we're big fans of the CW shows. You can tell that they're taking a lot of influence where they have Gorilla Grodd as a character, Captain Cold, Firestorm, Supergirl's now in it, and even like from the movies where Deadshot's in it too. So yeah.
I'm super excited to see what's going on. I kind of want that the CW Flash costume.
Yeah, I think they did it for
Arrow in the
first
first one.
Yeah, then they had Stephen Amell voice him, which was cool because I tried out the first one. It's a little bit more fast paced than Mortal Kombat, which I like, but I want to try test it out a bit for sure. But it won't be something that I'll get into like a Smash Bros or something.
I'm absolutely horrid at fighting games anyway.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's probably not something that I'm gonna buy right away. It's probably not something I'm gonna buy at full price. If I can get it cheaper, I probably will. But for all the fighting game fans out there, it is something that I've been hearing a lot of people are very excited for. They've changed a lot of the characters, making a lot more characters viable, a lot more options to play with. They've already announced. This is really weird considering the game hasn't even come out yet, but they've already announced DLC characters.
Yeah, that's been a whole thing. That's like the new trend now, where it happened with Mewtwo and Smash Wii U. It's already happening for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It happened for Mortal Kombat XL, where they were showing off like Jason and the Predator and Alien, which is cool. And and even now they showed off like Sub-Zero is going to be
Sub-Zero, and then Map Pack 2 I believe has Raiden in it.
Does it? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, no, it has Raiden in it, which is going to be super overpowered. I mean, I guess it balances out like the overpoweredness of the DC Universe heroes, but
there was that Mortal Kombat versus DC superheroes that came out in the 360 that it wasn't the greatest because they like pretty much babied the Mortal Kombat and they got rid of the fatalities. So
I mean,
fatality.
This is, I mean, it is the sequel to Injustice.
They
so
had
it's going to be
in the first one as a DLC character too.
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be a lot less, I guess, toned down in a sense. But I mean, from what I've been seeing, the community does seem to be enjoying it. So, we're gonna look forward to that. Do you want to make any topic on the Black Ops DLC pack? The maps that have been released like 5 times.
Yeah,
I haven't played Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare, so I'm not really interested in Black Ops 3.
It's not necessarily Black Ops 3. They're bringing back the Black Ops 1 and 2 maps. 2 Black Ops 3 zombies, which I guess is cool. I didn't really personally enjoy Black Ops 2 zombies. A lot of people disagree with me on that factor, but oh well. I just like the classic zombies. I mean, I was super good at Kino, super good at Ascension. I really personally enjoyed doing Shangri-La, the Easter egg, multiple over and over again. I enjoyed that aspect of it, but again, I'm like you. I haven't bought a Call of Duty since God knows how long, right? Actually, since Black Ops 1.
They've been going pretty insane, though, with like the Easter eggs and the zombies mode. It's cool for people who like them, but even in Black Ops 1, Nazi zombies wasn't it was never my favorite mode. I'd rather play Team Deathmatch way more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for World War II, though. It looks pretty interesting because they kept going like futuristic and just until they went to space, and I don't think you can go even farther from there. So it's nice that they're pulling back.
Yeah. I just hope, because I don't know if have you played Battlefield 1?
Yeah, I played it. I enjoyed the campaign. I liked the vignette style where there was like 5 short stories. I feel like some of them could have been even like fully fledged into their own full campaigns. Like, did you play all of it?
I didn't play all of it. I got through about half of it. It's just one of those games that I put aside compared to other things, I guess, because Battlefield is more of an online thing anyway. Mainly that's what they focus on, right? And then when it comes to, and I bought it on the computer, so I mean I got distracted with either Overwatch or Counter-Strike, and it's not something that I just hope Call of Duty doesn't turn into the thing where it kind of just dies on you for a lot of people. It was a fantastic game. The only problem was it just, I don't know, it was the same thing over and over again, and a lot of people fell off it because you had people buying the older Call of Duty, and then this year they saw Infinite Warfare, then they're like, no, I don't like it, so they bought Call of Duty, but they don't like that style, where it's the slower paced style, so it kind of fell off a little harder than it was supposed to. I got that vibe, but
Infinite Warfare sold well, but I don't think it sold as highly as Activision.
Infinite Warfare sold well because of the Call of Duty 4 remaster attached to it. Yeah, that's
true.
When experienced it, like I said, the last episode previously mentioned, I work for Newbie Games, so when I came in, I had customers come in, and I had about maybe 90% of people picking up the second edition for 110 Canadian dollars, and which included the Infinite Warfare remaster, which in my opinion was totally not worth it.
They didn't sell that separately, didn't they?
Nope.
I think World War II will do a bit better, because you even saw last year there was a whole bunch of like petty internet trolls and stuff, just like, you remember that whole debacle of like Battlefield 1 is the most liked YouTube trailer, and then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare had the most dislikes, which is just stupid. But even now, like, people seem to be pretty high on it right now, and we haven't had a World War II shooter since it's been a couple of years. Like Wolfenstein: The New Order was pretty much the last one, but it's an alternate history kind of thing.
Yeah, it was an alternate timeline. It sounds like I'm talking about The Flash here. That was an alternate timeline, I guess. I mean, new take on history.
Alternate history, like it's always been for Wolfenstein.
Which I'll actually talk about later, considering I just started playing it. It's absolutely fantastic, but we'll save it.
Later.
Yeah, we'll save it. I don't know. Let's hope things are going to do okay this year. Maybe this year I'll actually buy it for the first time since, oh my goodness, a while ago, like 8 or 9 years at least.
Yeah, I played Advanced Warfare. I enjoyed the campaign, the one that had like Kevin Spacey in it.
Yeah.
And I've always liked the way that Call of Duty controls more than Battlefield 1. I always found it more like sluggish and slow in Battlefield, but that's coming from playing Battlefield 1, Battlefield Hardline, and Bad Company 2, and I really like Bad Company 2 and the Battlefield 1 campaign. But I felt like Call of Duty's gameplay has always been more tight and controlled.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was like the pinnacle of first-person shooters, it became the standard, and you saw a lot of games adapting to take their control style from them.
Yeah, it's how it's been ever since.
Yeah, Titanfall was like that. I mean, even Halo turned into that almost. Like like the controls became familiar, right? It went from, for example, Halo 3 had the controls of right bumper being your action button, right trigger being shoot, left trigger being grenade, and then B being crouch. And then the newer Halos,
like 343 took over.
Yeah, in the newer Halos, they've adapted it where you can change, and it is defaulted to, left shift or left stick is sprint, X is your reload or action button, A is jump, et cetera, whatever. Just the way you play Call of Duty. I don't know. It's just a neat little thing. I guess it's become like the pinnacle of the way shooters operate, but. In a sense,
because like other shooters should probably try to strive for the way that Call of Duty controls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you want to give your little piece, Mike, on Fire Emblem here.
Yes. So like it's been a crazy like couple of years for Fire Emblem. Like before, like what was it, like 2013 when Awakening came out? Like there was nothing for Fire Emblem
there was
anywhere.
That, like, the Wii game that came out didn't even come out in North America.
I don't think it did. I think it was only,
or even if it did, it was like super rare to find.
Yeah. So like, and then all of a sudden Awakening came out, and like Awakening is like one of my favorite games ever. That game was amazing, and I know none of you guys played it. I don't think you played it either, Matt. No, but that game was really good. So I played that, and I've been playing Fire Emblem ever since. So like when they announced like the remake of the second one, which is what Shadows of Valencia is, like that's pretty exciting for me. But I'm still kind of behind because I haven't finished the Fire Emblem Heroes on the mobile. I don't know if you've tried that.
I don't.
No. Yeah, you were. That's Fire Emblem and it's mobile for you, so you're not going to play that at all. But yeah, so that game was pretty bad actually, but I didn't like it. But anyways, so yeah, I'm really excited for Shadows of Valencia to get into that. I know I'm the only Fire Emblem fan here, so I can't really talk with you guys about it. But yeah, really excited for the changes that game has because it's more of the old style Fire Emblem, the harder difficulties. Remake, so. Yeah,
it's just insane to see how much like Fire Emblem has come just in the past like 3-4 years after having like a decade of nothing in North America, and you see how popular it's getting with like the Smash Bros roster being infected by freaking Fire Emblem characters. It's like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, but that was the case back in the day too, because like they had like Roy and Marth,
before
people didn't even know who those characters were.
Yeah, you don't know who they are, and then after like now they're all over the place. It's a hardcore Nintendo game, which there aren't a ton of, but people enjoy it. So,
but like, if you enjoy the type of strategy RPG gameplay, they're really good strategy RPGs. Like Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright was my game of the year last year. Like it was incredible. I haven't played Conquest yet, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna play that first or Echoes first. But whatever, yeah, really excited for it.
I was watching some gameplay at work on the new Fire Emblem game, and it looked like a lot of fun, honestly. Yeah. For somebody who's never played Fire Emblem before, it would definitely be something that I would consider buying, would consider playing, just for the fact of just from the gameplay, it looked like a lot of fun being the strategy RPG. Going back to those old, it seemed like one of those old pixelated graphics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you look at the trailer, that's what it shows you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looked very interesting, very very nice. And plus, it would help me play my 3DS, considering I don't ever touch it. Now I have my Switch and
for that game too. It's really good for like existing Fire Emblem fans as well, because there's a lot of changes in that game to make it different from like the recent Fire Emblem games. Like honestly, I'm 100% expecting this game to be very difficult, even on like the lower settings.
Yeah.
So like as a first time player, I'd recommend you play another game first, particularly Awakening.
Like Kirby.
No. Fire Emblem Awakening is like you have to play that game. You have to. I can't even explain how amazing that game was. It had literally everything you'd ever want. Excellent map design, interesting characters that you actually cared about, and the strategy RPG elements are just amazing. But yeah, so that comes out next week, I think it is 19th.
The 18th, yeah.
Yeah, so excited for that.
Another thing that I just actually thought of right now was another trailer we've been seeing. I don't know if you're into Final Fantasy at all.
No, it's too Japanese for me. No.
That's how they sum Final Fantasy in one word: too Japanese.
It's I don't know. I saw the trailer for Final Fantasy 14. And the first thought was, didn't they make one already? Then the second thought was, this trailer looks freaking awesome. So I mean, I don't know if you guys as the listeners, I guess, know anything or have your opinions you want to share about this game. Email us at nothingbutgamespodcast@gmail.com. Forgot to plug it in the beginning, but I did it anyway, so it's fine.
Plug. That was
Thank you.
10.
Regardless, it's just, if you guys know anything about that, feel free to share your ideas, your thoughts about what's going on. It's probably something that I'm going to be looking into more, just to try to figure out what exactly it is going to be, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big JRPG guy, so
neither am I. It's just like I know that Final Fantasy 15 took a total different take on things with the whole open world car simulator type thing. Basically,
just 4 boys in a car.
Yeah, road trip simulator.
Road trip simulator 2017 or 2016, I guess. I don't know.
Road trip.
Yeah, that's it. It's Final Fantasy 15 in a nutshell. No, but seriously, for all you Final Fantasy lovers out there, I mean, if you have any advice or anything, I guess advice isn't the right word. Recommendations, thoughts.
Yeah, send it to us.
Send it to us. Email us. We would love to absolutely hear your thoughts and opinions. So let's get into some leaked topics, rumors, I guess. Or I guess you can say it as news. So there was a little bit of a leak from what it looked like to be the new Assassin's Creed game. So you can find it on other sites. Other sites
everywhere.
Yeah, just look it up. You'll
more or
find
less. And it looked to be like it was in Egypt.
Yeah.
We see that he's on a boat, sailing towards something,
which reminds me of Black Flag, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Black Flag
was amazing.
Yes. Marcus, what are your thoughts on this?
I think the screenshot is real.
Yeah.
We've been hearing, it's pretty much been since like last year, since Assassin's Creed took a break, took a year off, that the entire Egypt rumors and all that were discussed, and I think it's real. It doesn't seem, there's nothing about it that seems off about it or fake. Especially with like E3 coming soon, and the way Ubisoft has pretty much been known now for the past couple of years to announce their games before E3. They did it with Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. They did it with Watch Dogs 2. So I would assume we might get a trailer for it in like the next 2-3 weeks, and it seems cool. Yeah, you said it shows the character that you were playing as on a boat, which was great because Black Flag was awesome. I didn't play Rogue, which was the 360 PS3 game that came out during like the transition to the Xbox One PS4 generation. Because it also had some Black Flag characteristics to it, but hopefully if it's like Black Flag mixed with even like Assassin's Creed 2 or Syndicate, it'd be cool, because not a lot of people played Syndicate when it came out because they were burned by Unity, and
I was
you
one of
guys
those
played
people.
Unity. People kept saying how buggy it was. I don't know how true that was, if it was like super buggy.
Syndicate?
But yeah,
No,
it wasn't.
Unity.
Unity.
Yeah.
It was, but like that's not the reason why
Yeah.
it's not.
So-
like,
I
it
know
was just not fun.
I know Syndicate kind of underperformed a bit, which is why they even took a year off, which is great because take time to actually develop your game and don't just crap it out if you know it's just going to be a moneymaker for you. However, when games that came out this year like Horizon and Zelda exist, I wonder if people are going to look to whatever this might be, the new Assassin's Creed, as something lesser than those two.
I don't know. Assassin's Creed has always been the franchise with the big name attached to it. People hear Assassin's Creed and they know instantly what it is. And then the movie came out, which got total mixed reviews. People either loved it or hated it. I personally, I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch it. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. So.
I personally enjoyed it. I can see why people are, I guess, pissy about it, considering the fact that it does not follow any of what we are familiar with. But in a sense, there is a little bit of that familiarity.
Talking about the movie?
The movie, in a sense. When you're looking at it, I mean, you got this kid who was, what's it called?
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah. Well, no. You got this kid whose mother who's murdered, and you know he's been suffering with that loss, and turns out he's part of the Assassin's Brotherhood, and this and that, and it kind of was a gateway movie in a sense where it's going to open up a bigger story. It kind of just throws everything at you right in the beginning. It was very rushed, I think, but it's something to lead up onto compared to the other movie. Like it's definitely something that it's the beginning. You know, it's
kind of funny how Marcus said they took a break from Assassin's Creed, but then there was a movie that came out, so really Assassin's Creed hasn't gone anywhere.
And then the last year at E3, for their briefing, they had pretty much like a freaking half an hour long interview,
right, for the movie, right?
That was like their infamous like 2 hour long show where they
that was terrible.
They just went on forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think going back to your question, I don't think or your statement, I don't think it's gonna suffer in the regard of compared to everything else, because it has that big, the big
It's
name.
Assassin's
and
Creed, yeah.
It's Assassin's Creed, right? I mean, everything, and I think people are gonna see it and they're gonna get excited about it, and people are gonna listen to us talk about it when we go to E3, and they're gonna get hyped for it, right?
I was one of those people that Marcus mentioned that was really burned off Assassin's Creed after Unity, because
Yeah.
I did not like Unity at all. I mean, it was a fine game, but just something about it was just really off. And there was a lot of broken promises in that game, because they when they first announced it, they had said you could play the whole campaign with co-op, which you couldn't do in that game. And so I went into that game thinking that, and I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that was during the time when pretty much co-op was everything, where people started incorporating co-op into every game that doesn't need to have co-op.
Exactly. So when I finished Unity, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't want to play Assassin's Creed ever again. I didn't get Syndicate right away. And I waited a few months until it was on sale, and I played it, and Syndicate was amazing.
It's a
I
really
platinumed
good
it on
game.
PS4. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed the switching mechanic as well from Eevee to
Was it Adam?
No.
Adam and Eve. Jacob.
There you go, Jacob.
Jacob
Damn,
and
wow,
Eve.
we all
Evie.
forgot that.
I thought Eve, so I went Adam. I got real biblical with it.
Bioshock, there you go. Coming into your head.
Nice.
But so I'm excited for the new Assassin's Creed game. It feels like it's been a while since I played an Assassin's Creed game.
Which is honestly, I think, what we needed. So I was looking at my shelf today, right, and I'm like, I need to play something, and on my shelf you can see it's
Shaving cream.
nice. You can see it's Assassin's Creed remake, Dark Souls, which is another remake, Dark Souls 3, which was fantastic. That was 2016 Game of the Year. That's not mine, so don't worry about it.
They can't see it.
This is
That was
I know. I was just saying they can't see it.
Dead Rising 4, which was fantastic. Dishonored,
Are
which
you just going through all your games?
yeah, no, straight up. But I'm just saying, I was looking at my shelf and I was just like, remake. It's like, I need something new. I need something fresh.
Yeah, this
right?
this PS4 and Xbox One is the best generation to play all of last generation's games.
I don't
Honestly.
understand.
It's funny, even the Switch is going like that too, which is. it's
And
so
the
funny.
worst part about it, I got rid of 5 or 6 different other remakes I had. I mean, I had Skyrim. I had so much other stuff that I'm just like, I don't want to play this again. I just got rid of it.
It was pretty bad a couple years ago. I think it's been slowing down.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was pretty egregious with people releasing collections, which are good, but that shouldn't be the only thing you rely on because it makes you money. Because we saw it with the BioShock collection, the Batman collection,
The Ezio collection.
yeah, the Ezio collection.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that came out.
Yeah, it was a thing that came out,
I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, there were a bunch.
But yeah, I'm happy that they released the BioShock collection, because that was the first time I played that, and those games.
Yeah, it's great for people like Mike who don't play video games at all. No, but you didn't play much of the 360 PS3 generation, but
He had a Wii U.
I think it would have just been. It's weird how you see them. You can really see some publishers' true intentions when you have something like Xbox giving you backwards compatibility, but then they just decide to re-release the game anyway for $60 and remake it completely rather than just put it on backwards compatibility
they know
for
it'll
you.
sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's as much as the developer as it is just the company
Did I
themselves.
say
Yeah.
I said publisher, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You said.
Yeah, I just think you could be.
fine.
I
know
think they
exactly
should
what
just be
you're
doing actually new things. If you want to put those out, it's great, but just don't rely on it. We've seen so much of it this generation. It just got tiring. Because even with the Switch, I don't want to buy a Switch yet, just because there's no actual fully Switch exclusive game on it other than 1-2 Switch which I don't even want to play. That I want to play or you have ARMS coming out, which kind of looks mad to me. Splatoon 2, I don't care about Splatoon that much, but I'm waiting for them to actually make the Switch something worth buying, to have not just be able to play Wii U games and then old game
Yeah.
And I know what you're gonna say. People are always gonna be like, "Oh, what about Zelda?" So now, well, first of all, that Zelda came out on the Wii U. Second of all, it was in development for the Wii U, so technically, it doesn't count. Yes, it is the Nintendo Switch's Zelda game, but it is also the Wii U Zelda game, so it doesn't count as to a Nintendo Switch exclusive game like Mario Galaxy. Mario Odyssey is gonna be.
I would even bet though that since Odyssey was probably a Wii U game a couple years ago, I'm excited to see at E3 what what Nintendo shows, because it'll probably be the first time we actually see a a dedicated game that was made for the Switch alone by Nintendo that was first party, other than something like 1-2 Switch and ARMS, because I think it's pretty clear that Odyssey was originally a Wii U game, and how Splatoon 2 is pretty much Splatoon it's a prettied version of Splatoon 1 with like the newer campaign and stuff. It is a new game, but it looks like it's taking a lot from the first Splatoon. But I can't wait for E3 to show them like actual like games that had the Switch in mind and were intended to be on the Switch.
Yeah, like they announced that the Fire Emblem Switch game. And I know you guys don't care about that, but
it was just a logo.
Just a logo, yeah. But they said 2017, or not 2017, 2018. So hopefully, and if not this E3, the next one.
Yeah. Going back to, because we got a little bit off topic there. Going back to
what were we talking about?
We were talking about the leak stuff. So the
like I'm looking on my shelf and stuff.
The Assassin's Creed leak.
So going back to that, I agree with everything Marcus said like 20 minutes ago. That like that picture is definitely legitimate, and it pretty much confirms Egypt. So we're gonna have to wait to see till Ubisoft officially announces it, and then hopefully we get it this holiday season.
I want to climb on a Sphinx.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sick. And I think it's ancient Egypt too, not even like, which is gonna be pretty.
Let's
cool.
not promise anything. No promises here.
See a sarcophagus. A mummy. You'll play as a mummy the entire time.
Now we're getting to some intense gameplay ideas.
The entire time your character is wrapped in like the
gauze.
Yeah, the gauze, and then at the end of the game he takes it off and there's nothing there. It's just ash. And he just collapses. It's just like what? Anyway, another leak that was going on. You Marcus, I'm gonna let you explain this one. It's supposedly a Far Cry 5 leak or something of the sort.
It was just people were looking around and seeing. I think it was up in down in Montana where a crew was filming a commercial for a game. That's what the director of the commercial was saying, and the crew was saying. And it looked to be a Western type game, and people immediately went to Red Dead Redemption 2. However, people then looked into the background of the director who was shooting it and saw that he shot a lot of promotions and commercials for Ubisoft games. So people then tried putting two and two together, and a lot of people have come to the conclusion that it could be a Far Cry 5 Western game. It's nothing. It's it's a Far Cry of an idea, pun intended. But
nice.
Every episode, eh?
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually Far Cry, but it's fun to think how a Far Cry setting would be in a Western. People were also assuming that it would come out this year in September, which I don't know if this is true, just because you have Red Dead Redemption 2 coming later this year, and if you're putting another Western up beside freaking Rockstar Games, you're just asking to get your teeth kicked in. I don't know if Ubisoft could do that, because they put out Primal in the beginning of last year, and that seemed to be pretty much it wasn't a full, I guess you could call it AAA, but it wasn't like a Far Cry 3 or a Far Cry 4.
It was clearly a side story.
That was that game.
Yeah, it used Far Cry 4's map too, so it was pretty much just reusing a bunch of assets. People liked it. I unfortunately didn't play it. I really wanted to. But it seemed like Far Cry 4's Blood Dragon, because I don't know if you guys remember Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. It was pretty much just, I think it was standalone, not actually.
It was standalone.
Yeah,
it was standalone.
I played it, and it was freaking fantastic. I loved Blood Dragon, and it was $20, but they actually made Far Cry Primal a full campaign and everything. However, I don't think they were only working on Primal during that time. I think that was kind of a side project, and that they've been actually cooking up something a bit more. I think we'll see Far Cry something at Ubisoft's press conference this year, or I think they'll announce something Far Cry related. Whether it comes out this year, we'll see. But
Ubisoft has a history of announcing games and then releasing them 3 years later. So
they didn't do it with Far Cry 3 and 4. It's mainly they're big whenever they end their shows
the
with
Division, Rainbow Six.
Watch Dogs.
And the one last thing, that's the whole Ubisoft one last thing.
Yeah. But even Far Cry, Far Cry 3 and 4 were, especially Far Cry 3, came out more in December. So I think if it were to come out this year, I think it would probably be a December game, because that's usually where they put their stuff. And I don't know if they want to. I don't know what their plans would be for Assassin's Creed. Anyways, we'll see if they want to put 2 big games out this year, because there's that also rumored Mario and Rabbids game for the Switch.
Right.
So we'll see if they have 3 big games this year. However, if a new Far Cry 5 does come out, I don't know. We'll see if it is a Western. I find it a bit hard to believe, but we'll see.
You don't think it would do well against Red Dead?
Not if it comes out like immediately beside it. Anything that comes up beside Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to get its ass kicked. Unless you're Call of Duty, or unless you're
A FIFA,
like,
a Call of Duty.
Yeah, any sports
Zelda,
games like
yeah.
Call of Duty or should you just say Zelda?
I did.
Call of Duty or even Destiny 2. Like, those are games that are going to stand on their own. Those are games that stand out from Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, different market.
Yeah. So
Cool.
because sorry,
okay.
just because you even see where great. What was that?
Keep
your
going.
phone?
Nothing happened.
No, you see
Nothing happened.
you see a lot of publishers like moving away from that spot where you had it's Deep Silver, who's publishing Agents of Mayhem, which is the Saints Row spinoff.
Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah, it's coming out in August, which is like a good game. That's the place to put a game like that, where if it comes out anytime during the fall, it's just gonna get gonna get pummeled.
Agents of Mayhem. If you go listen to the trailer, it's literally Team America.
Yeah,
they change it ever so slightly, and it just makes me laugh every time I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's anyway. So that's that. I think we've got a good handle on the rumors and the news and whatnot. We still got a little bit of time left, so let's get into. Last week we were talking about games that we were playing. Let's probably going to be something we're going to do every week. I guess to give you a little recap of what games we are relevant in our lives right now, how we think about them, this and that. You finished Horizon Zero Dawn, or did you not finish it?
Yeah, I finished it last
Perfect.
night.
And how did that
Perfect
go?
timing.
It was actually really good. I liked it more and more that I went on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember last week I was saying I was having trouble with the platforming. I would still say that was the game's biggest problem. I found pretty much two big problems in the game. One would be the platforming sections. I just don't think they were that smooth, and just the movement in general. And another would be the weapon system in terms of like the variety of weapons. I feel they don't give you any reason to use nothing but your bow and arrow or
Nothing but games? Sorry.
nothing but your bow and arrow and your
Sorry.
rope caster and stuff. The weapons are cool. I wish they actually had more. Matt, you're so proud of yourself right now.
I really am, though. Listen, you made a pun last week and this week.
Yeah.
I got to make a pun as well, okay?
But yeah, it was great. I think the story is actually really cool. Like, the story is phenomenal, in my opinion. I think you don't really see it's not even so much of a twist, but like what's going on and how humanity ended up getting so far and so far advanced that they became more primal, and like the way that they go about that is really cool. The final boss is okay. The characters are cool. It sets itself for a sequel pretty well. So I think there will be a Horizon 2. But yeah, other than that, I would still say it's probably one of the best games of this generation so far.
What's it going to be like? Horizon?
Probably one of PlayStation 4's best exclusives.
Is it like Horizon Midday, or like like that's the sequel? Or I
Horizon.
could have made it an Overwatch joke, but I restrained myself.
Horizon Sunrise.
Yeah. Horizon One Dawn, or
Horizon Morning Dew.
that's
Yeah,
it.
just stop. But yeah, so I'm really excited to play Horizon after hearing your glowing recommendations here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably play that soon.
Give it a score out of 10. We're gonna start this too.
Official review.
I know. I don't really like giving games just numbers, but
Okay, do a game explain.
I would say.
Did you like it a lot?
No. I would say if I had to give it like a rating, I'd probably say somewhere near like an 8.5 to a 9, maybe.
Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Mike, let's start with you, or let's continue with you. You have been playing ReCore,
Yes.
the Xbox One exclusive that came out last year.
Like September of last year. I'm a few months late
We've
on
pretty
this,
much just
but
all been playing like older games.
Yeah, more or
yeah.
less.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a lot of games to play. But yeah, so I've been playing
And
that
there's
game
time.
for a lot. I was actually streaming it last night, so check me out. Few Shadows on Twitch if you guys want to listen to that.
Twitch.tv/Fuse Shadows.
Yes.
Just like the Zelda.
For all you Zelda fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so anyways, I was playing ReCore, and like,
You're such a nerd.
I know, isn't it great? So the best thing I've experienced with ReCore so far is the combat. I find it's really fast, it's really fluid.
Slow yourself down, sir.
Really fast, really fluid. You got to switch between colors depending on what your enemy type is, and it's
Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even notice I said that. I was so confused about how you said
yeah.
so you got to switch really fast, and sometimes you face bosses that have multiple colors on it, and you got to quickly choose which color you got to fight on, depending on what it is. And it's really fast. It's really quick. You built up combos in that game. It's not like a normal fighting game or a normal shooter. You got to build up combos, and that's how you defeat things. Otherwise, you won't have enough power to defeat any boss. So yeah, the combat's really fun. One of my biggest problems with that game though is the loading times. And like I know it's a really dumb excuse to have for a game, but like I mean when I'm telling you like it's 2 minutes to when I'm sitting there waiting for the game to load, it's 2 minutes.
Simpsons Road Rage kind of time.
Yeah, it's really annoying, and especially when you start playing it, it's 2 minutes every time when you start playing it. So it's just like, I gotta sit here for 2 minutes and just wait for the game to load. It's really annoying.
That was like 2011 Skyrim on the PS3.
Well, yeah, but like that's the thing, right? Like Zelda had less loading times in this game. And like it's loading way more, so like I don't know what the excuse is. I don't remember who developed ReCore.
It was it was micro. It was KG and Ifune.
Yeah, I remember who it was.
Metroid Prime developers.
Yeah. I don't know what their developed what the studio
I don't remember
called.
what the studio was.
Yeah, I know it was Metroid Prime. I've never played Metroid Prime either, but I definitely want to play that one day. But yeah, so ReCore. The one thing I will say also is like the story. Like it's really bland. It's just generic. Like going to another planet, Earth got blown up, blah blah blah, and nobody really cares. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if other people care about it more, but I really have no interest in the story. Like, what's keeping me playing ReCore is like the combat is really good.
Yeah.
The exploration is really good as well. The platforming is really fun as well. But like everything else other than the gameplay is really.
It seemed like it got overlooked last year.
Oh,
it was
totally
because they did release it as like a budget game, and especially with like KG and Ifune releasing Mighty Number 9 earlier last year, and that got like it was just completely it was like completely like mediocre. And was nowhere near like the Mega Man inspired game people wanted it to be. But I don't know if people really gave ReCore a chance. But you seem to like it was a pretty good game.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely a game that if you have a chance to pick up for $10-$20, do it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, because they did release it as a budget title, but I don't really think that's an excuse for why it might have not done super well. Because you had Ratchet and Clank last year released as a budget title, and that was incredible. People say that people consider that to be one of the PS4's best games, which is
did that game sell well? I don't remember.
Yeah, it did.
It did
because it also came out during the time like the movie came out during that time too, and the movie kind of flopped, I think. But the game actually did pretty well.
You know what game was also a good budget game? Ukulele. That's a funny joke.
That's another one that people are really upset about.
Really pissed off.
Yeah,
about.
because you're seeing the 3D platformer come back where Ratchet and Clank was one, and I guess ReCore kind of has a bit of that.
It is. I would say it is.
And now you have Mario Odyssey coming out later this year. I think that I'd be shocked if Mario Odyssey is even is mediocre.
Can you imagine? But another 3D platform that was really underlooked was actually Splatoon. The single player campaign was basically a 3D platform, and it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good that campaign. Just random Splatoon.
That's okay. So I've been playing Wolfenstein: The New Order. This is an older game.
Now we're getting really old.
Now we're getting very old.
That was like what 3-4 years ago.
Regardless of what it was,
but it is old.
The game is absolutely fantastic. Honestly, you played it.
Yeah, I love it. It was. It's one of the best shooters on this generation.
I played the first 45 minutes of it. Your guy, he survives a plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
He almost gets eaten 5 times by robot dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah,
like Mac?
I don't know, like the futuristic Nazis, basically.
Mac is a dog from ReCore, yeah.
Or in Horizon Robot Boys.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
You got this. I got the submachine gun, and that was like, that was pretty cool. Then I picked up one of the Nazi what's it called, assault rifles, and that had some kick to it. Then all of a sudden, this guy decides, I need 2 of them now. Whips out 2 of them. You start blowing people's heads off. I'm like, all right, I've played 45 minutes of this game. That's fantastic.
I think Matt likes
I do.
Maybe a little
like
bit.
It too. So, a lot of people were given the opening mission, or the opening of that game a bit of crap. You remember when you're like in the airplane?
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it
really
was okay.
wasn't.
But yeah, it's more like the gameplay in that game is just so good, and even like the environments you go to.
It was super random. The only thing that I can, I guess, complain about would be there's so much going on at all times. I was just super confused and discombobulated about where to go, and trying to fall through little holes and whatnot was super confusing at first. Then it's like, oh wait, everything is super linear now. I'm just running and just shooting, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking too hard. Just run, just go.
You had Bethesda release Doom last year.
Yeah.
And I'd say I didn't really like Doom just because of how fast paced it is and how it's a bit non-linear as compared to Wolfenstein. But if you like a bit, like Wolfenstein is a bit slower paced.
Yeah.
In terms of Doom, where it just goes like completely balls to the wall. But
Nice.
yeah,
That was their slogan last year, wasn't it?
Wolfenstein is
Yeah.
Was it? I don't even know.
I don't. No. Doom.
Oh.
Or what game used
No,
that?
I think you're having a stroke.
What game used that though? I don't remember. I'm telling you, there was a game that used balls to the walls.
I don't
Okay,
think
we're gonna stop with
Anyway.
our balls in the walls, but no, Wolfenstein was really good. And last year, I've been bringing up E3 press conferences so much, but the Bethesda's last year, when they opened up with the Quake Champions, you saw there was their little boot up screen that they had showed off Wolfenstein: The New Order
I
and
remember
Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Did I get those mixed up?
No, you're good.
Oh, yeah. And then there was like Wolfenstein, like something Colossus. It was something like that, and people have been theorizing that this year they might show off their new Wolfenstein, and it could come out this year.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy that day one if it happens because they haven't announced anything for this year other than like Skyrim on Switch. So
Which who cares?
yeah, we gotta.
And I have a whole press conference to fill, so I would not be shocked at all if I was it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm really hoping that happens too, because that gives me an excuse to play Wolfenstein: The New
Yeah.
Order like right now, because
Oh,
I have it.
super good.
It's just one of those games I got to get to, and if they have a new game coming out this year, maybe I'll play it.
I
Sooner rather than
believe
later.
it was Machine Games who made it, and they've been. It's been pretty good so far. Like their track record is good. Because you saw Bethesda, they just put out Prey, and it's been having like people are really complaining about it being pretty buggy and like eating your saves and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's all I've seen from it.
It's a little buggy, but overall, from everything that I've seen so far, I haven't personally played it myself. Marcus, you played the demo. From what I've seen, I've been watching a crap ton of Twitch streams about it, and it's enough for me to make, I guess, a first level judgment. It looks really good and well done. I mean, it's
minus all the bugs.
minus the bugs, yeah. But when you're looking at something that isn't buggy, I was watching a stream for it, and it looked really nice and fluent, and just the mechanic of the zero gravity mechanic was cool. Just the whole suit thing, and you gotta find the engineers floating in the space station was cool. The side missions you can explore everywhere. The streamer I was watching was getting super lost like I would, just exploring, and he tried to stay focused, but he'd get sidetracked, and I don't know. It looked really fun.
I just played the demo of Prey, which is cool that they actually made a demo. We haven't seen developers or publishers do that in like ages, pretty much since the last generation of consoles, so I really enjoy that they actually did that. What I played from it is very much like BioShock and Dishonored. I'd say more like BioShock. If you like BioShock, you'll probably like this. I only got to play the first hour, and it was a demo, so just take this with a grain of salt. However, I think the exploration part is pretty cool. It does remind me a lot of BioShock. The gun that they introduced is called the glue gun. You can pretty much just like spray glue all over enemies and pretty much
It's sticky.
you like freeze them, they harden, and then you can like either shoot them or beat them to death with a wrench, and then
Nice.
yeah, so that's been pretty cool. And I even saw through some videos that you can even use that gun to like get to like a place that doesn't have stairs or anything. You pretty much just like shoot your glue all over the floor and the walls, then you use that glue as stairs, shooting your glue all over the place.
All over the place.
All right,
But I have been seeing a lot of people saying that it's like people were complaining that it's pretty buggy, and I've seen a lot of people like a lot of reviewers and people and press saying that their saves have been eaten and that they've been encountering bugs. So I'd probably wait a bit before trying to buy it, because this was the entire like fiasco that happened. I forget if it was late last year or earlier this year, where Bethesda announced that they were going to stop providing pre-release copies of games to press and to reviewers. So it's kind of like biting them in the ass now, where you see they release a game like Prey, and then after it's coming out with bugs. So
Well, that's why you give it to the press early.
yeah, I'd say just like wait a bit, and just like before you pre-order a game, make sure people have actually had a chance to play it, and that you can go to people that you trust, websites that you trust, and actually get their information and feedback.
Like ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
nice
we
little
get
plug
games
right there.
3 months later, or we got Wolfenstein 4 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
ReCore like 8 months later.
No, we bought ReCore relatively early.
Yeah,
it's just we didn't play it.
it.
So it's fine.
Even
it's
for
fine.
like Horizon, like that's like a couple months at this point.
Yeah, well,
It was
it's
just
fine.
yeah, stuff was in the way. Life was happening.
we take our-
Overwatch existed.
We take our time. We thoroughly play something, and then we give our opinion on it, rather than just jumping to conclusions about something.
After 45 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Shut up, bro. Wolfenstein's great. Go play it.
I will play it.
Go. Anyway, well, other than that, I mean, listen, I talk very strongly because he's also played it. And he says it was amazing. And from what I've experienced, it's pretty amazing. So,
Yeah, I agree.
you know.
Yeah, I agree with me.
Yeah, everybody agrees with Marcus, more or less. Anyways, that should more or less about sum it up here for us.
Good second podcast.
Yeah, good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I previously said, about 11 minutes in this time, you can email us any questions you'd like at nothingbugamespodcast@gmail.com.
Say where we're available.
We are available
24/7.
Yeah, we are available
know
on
if you meant-
SoundCloud, and we are available on iTunes.
I'm thinking of maybe doing it on YouTube too. Hopefully within like the next week or two, probably.
Yeah.
Get
That's
it
what
up
I
on
got, yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, we create that as well. We each individually stream, some more than others, on Twitch as well. So you can follow myself at twitch.tv/nightmaremc.
2 eyes.
With 2 eyes. You can follow
Few shadows.
twitch.tv/
no caps, no nothing.
few
just
shadows.
Few shadows.
And
I
Marcus,
don't stream, but
Marcus doesn't stream, but it's fine. It'll be the links will be in the description anyway.
We also
What
have
about
a
the
Twitter
Zeldas?
page that you guys should follow. It's
Twitter
at
page?
NBG Community.
Yep. And for all of your updates on what's going on. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
bye bye.
See ya.
Bye. Have a great time.